tomorrow. Pakistan's information minister says that Iran's response on whether or not it will send a delegation to meet with the U.S., well, that still awaited. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Nitsana Darshan, Leitner, foreign policy expert and attorney back here on the Live Zone. Nitsana, it's always good to see you. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, Guy, for having me.
All right, so as it's a 14-hour flight from D.C. to Pakistan, where Vice President J.D. Vance will then, exit the airplane and hopefully be able to have a sit-down with top Iranian officials. Oh, but wait, we're not sure, Nitsana, that they will show up. What say you?
This is an unbelievable situation. Or perhaps I would rephrase it. This is so acceptable on the Iranians who play this game. The Iranians are expert in negotiation, in dragging time, in sealing their real intentions, and to drag the other side to consent eventually to their demands. They have been playing these games for all the past negotiations, and they're trying the same trick on President Trump. The problem is that President Trump is not falling to this trap. And he announced very, very clearly that the 4 days he gave for the negotiation are going to end. He's not extending it. And by tomorrow night, if the talks will not take place and will not continue to the satisfaction of the United States, they will be the war again continuing, and the Straits of Hormuz will be blocked, and we are back into game. I can tell you that Iran doesn't have to come with a victory. In the Iranians' eyes, it's just enough if they survive, if they stand the situation. And right now, they've been doing it very, very well. We are 6 weeks into the war. Iran has been hit terribly. Their Air Force and Navy and their factories and even some oil fields and gas fields are all being bombed, all their factories, everything. And Iran is still standing. So they're playing a very tough game. And for President Trump to win, he has to play the same game. And this is what he does.
Yeah, and this is why perhaps we find ourselves in this current situation. I want to focus on two things, Nitsana. Perhaps one being the word trust. Many critics have stated that the Iranians cannot trust the president, in this case President Trump, because of the blockade that remains in place. And then two, leverage. Some would argue that Iran has more leverage than the U.S. Prior to this conflict getting underway, the Strait of Hormuz was not closed. It is now.
Right. So what happened was that indeed Iran took the card and played very well, blocking the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump came and said, this is out of the game. I don't agree that Iran will hold 20% of global oil in their hands, and we block this, and as a consequence, obviously will cause an increase in the oil gas and will harm the global economy. Therefore, he came and agreed to open a negotiation, and Iran took this with two hands and came to the negotiation table. However, President Trump saw that there is no movement, there is no progress. So he came and said, I'm blocking, and this is genius, I'm blocking the Hormuz Straits. Not Iran will control it, me, the United States, will control it. And this forced, finally, Iran to come and sincerely negotiate. But what happened is that they agreed, and this is what the Trump's term for the negotiation, that the Hormuz Strait will be closed by the United States as long as they don't reach an agreement. Because think about it, it's not a game to send troops over again and again and again into this channel. So the strait will be blocked, and this is the leverage, perhaps the only leverage that the United States has over Iran, unless United States decides to come and to bomb the oil fields of Iran. destroy totally the economy of Iran and also hit their power plants. Once United States puts Iran under a total blackout, that will be the end and Iran will collapse. But President Trump keeps this final hits to the last resort if there will be no agreement under this negotiation.
Yet again, the clock is ticking, and we all await to see if the discussions will get underway. Speaking of discussions, Nitsana, we are now getting word that Israel in Lebanon will hold a second round of ceasefire talks right here in the nation's capital. What can you tell us about that?
You know, we all know the expression fog of war. We have here the fog of ceasefire. Nobody understands what's going on. There is no clarity whatsoever in all fronts. You see, in the Iranian front, we just talked about it. The Gaza front, Hamas refusing to disarm itself. There is a ceasefire, but it's still in power. And the Lebanese front, we just started negotiation with the Lebanese government with a ceasefire in place, supposedly. But just an hour ago, Hezbollah shoots rockets towards the northern part of Israel. So obviously, Hezbollah cannot hold its promise for a ceasefire. And furthermore, Hezbollah is not going to disarm itself. So any negotiation that Israel will have with the Lebanese government, promising Israel that the Lebanese government will do its best to disarm Hezbollah from its arm, not going to work. So in Israel, we all very much in favor of peace agreements, but peace agreements that honor the paper that they are written on. And right now, what Israel needs is security on its border. Peace agreement is very nice. It's needed. It's supporting the situation in Israel. But the most important thing is that Israel, which reached 4 to 10 kilometers inside Lebanon, will keep this, what we call in Israel, buffer zone or security strip. Israel will not go back to its original borders where Hezbollah can come invade into Israel and massacre and do the same thing Hamas did on October 7. During these past 2 years, Israel worked very hard to push Hezbollah into the Litani River, behind the Litani River, that Hezbollah will not be able to run all this distance into Israel, and more importantly, not to shoot long-range rockets, RPGs and others into Israel. This is a security zone. This Israel must hold in place. And this is the reason, by the way, the Lebanese government wanted to negotiate with Israel, because now Israel is taking over part of southern Lebanon. Add to this equation the Iranian talks that Iran said, my proxy in Lebanon is Hezbollah. If I'm going into a ceasefire, if I'm going into peace agreements negotiation, I must protect my proxy in Lebanon, and they must also get into negotiation. The difference is that Hezbollah is not worth anything. He cannot promise anything. He's not going to promise anything. And unfortunately, the Lebanese government, which really got harmed as a result of this conflict, is incapable of holding any term. So this is what we are. No clarity, no finality. Another day will come and we'll see what happens.
In essence, we have seen this movie before. And so hopefully, in this case, eventually we'll get a different ending. Nitsana Darshan Leitner, foreign policy expert and attorney, joining us right here on the Live Zone. We truly appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
All right, folks, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.